Time is 10 a.m. This is WKYT Midmorning. A monster of a storm is marching toward the East Coast. We're tracking Hurricane Matthew and its timing of the arrival in Florida.
Oh, look at how the hurricane is having a big impact on some Kentuckians.
And gearing up for Keeneland, why this year's big fall meet that starts tomorrow will be a little different.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning. Welcome in. We're glad you're with us at Midmorning on WKYT on a Thursday. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Now, even though we're obviously not in the direct line of fire for Hurricane Matthew, everybody's talking about it because
lots of impact.
It's a massive storm.
We will have people who will go to help out. We have people who have had to rearrange travel. And this is going to have the national attention the next couple of days. Let's check in right now with Micah in our First Alert Weather Center, and he's keeping track of where it is.
Yeah, and we're looking down toward the Bahamas because that's where it's at this moment. Nassau, which is actually this little dot you see just to the east there, Bahamas. That's where the eye wall is located. In the eye wall, you can actually see that circular motion right through there in between Bahamas and Nassau. That's actually where the strongest winds are located. They're getting roughly 100-mile-per-hour winds right now in Nassau, causing some damage. We're going to get updates on that as we go throughout the morning and afternoon. Live sky camera around here looks good. Temperatures are there in the 60s. As we approach the afternoon, we'll be right around 82. It's pretty much the same story as yesterday and the day before. So there's really not much change in the forecast today nor tomorrow. But we are going to track Matthew. I'm going to show the new path, how that's going to affect that cold front, if there are any changes from the past few days for your weekend forecast that's coming up.
Thank you very much. Florida's governor has just said in the last few minutes, this storm will kill you. Time is running out. That's the advice to people who are in the evacuation zones right now. The first outer rain bands from Hurricane Matthew already have started to approach Florida as that big storm is crossing the Bahamas.
Now, the Category 3 storm is expected to regain strength today. It's the first major hurricane to hit Florida in 11 years. Marley Hall has the latest from Daytona Beach.
As Hurricane Matthew roared through the Bahamas, parts of Florida became a ghost town.
Time is running out. This is clearly going to either have a direct hit or come right along our coast, and we're going to have hurricane force winds. There are no excuses. You need to leave.
People along the East Coast began heeding evacuation warnings yesterday, flocking to gas stations to fill up.
I've driven around looking for gas, and their gas stations haven't had any gas.
As others cleared store shelves and boarded up their properties, this boater in Daytona Beach decided to move further inland.
We've ridden out a lot of storms in the past, but this one, I think, will be much more dramatic.
Hurricane Matthew is expected to regain strength over the next few hours. Officials say people along the Florida coast should begin feeling its effects by tonight.
Storm surge. Forecasts project 5 to 9 feet. Now, this is 5 to 9 feet above where you're standing. Waves will be crashing on your roof if you're right close to where the storm surge is happening.
The Coast Guard is already warning beachgoers to stay out of the water. Marley Hall, CBS News, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Now, so far, Hurricane Matthew is blamed for at least 25 deaths in the Caribbean.
Several airlines have already canceled flights because of Hurricane Matthew. Here in Kentucky, some people are changing their travel plans to avoid the storm. Some others have decided to go ahead with their trips despite the dangerous storm. 2 Allegiant flights out of Bluegrass Airport to Florida are canceled this morning. We understand more cancellations now likely. AAA says travelers need to do their research if they plan to travel in the next couple of days.
You might go ahead and call your destination places and ask them, should I still come, and what's your cancellation policy?
Several airlines say they will work with folks on a case-by-case basis regarding refunds and accommodations. Just a few minutes ago, we learned about 1,500 flights have already been canceled.
Now, the American Red Cross is sending a team from Kentucky to parts of the Southeast. According to the Courier-Journal, 4 Red Cross workers from Louisville and 1 from Lexington are headed to the Carolinas or Florida today. They'll prepare shelters and help with other relief efforts. We have complete coverage of Hurricane Matthew on WKYT.com.
New on WKYT at mid-morning, a southern Kentucky man is accused of trying to kill police officers. Brandon Stennett was arrested last night in Whitley County after a high-speed police chase. The Williamsburg police chief says Stennett was driving about 90 miles per hour down some back roads when he tried to crash into the officers. Police say Stennett eventually crashed into a tree and was arrested. He is facing 3 counts of attempted murder of a police officer, along with a long list of other charges. We're going to have more on his arrest in a complete story on WKYT News at noon. Lexington police are investigating after a woman was shot in the hip overnight. The shooting happened in the backyard of a home on East Loudon Avenue. Police say the woman was shot by someone she knows. Officers talked to a person of interest, but so far, no charges have been filed.
State police are warning people in Madison County about a suspicious man. Now, according to police, a 17-year-old says a man in his 60s approached her at a lake off Speedwell Road near Richmond. The teen claims the man opened his rear driver's side door and told the girl not to be afraid. She ran away. Police are hoping to talk with the man, who is white, about 6'2", with salt and pepper hair. He also has wire-framed glasses and might have been driving a Nissan Sentra. A southern Kentucky woman is accused of slashing another woman's throat. The McCreary County Voice reports that attack happened on Bill Slavin Road off US 27 in Whitley City. The paper says officers found a bloody pocket knife. They also found drugs at the home. The Voice reports 21-year-old Miranda Allen admitted to the attack and said she felt no remorse. Allen is charged with first-degree assault. The victim is expected to recover. The case will likely be presented to a grand jury.
And police say they still don't know what caused the death of a woman who was reported missing. 22-year-old Desiree Sparks was found in Lincoln County days after she disappeared from Danville. State police are asking the public for surveillance video to help them solve the case. They're specifically looking for a dark-colored Jeep Liberty or Patriot. The Kentucky Board of Education is now exploring the idea of charter schools. Kentucky is one of 7 states in the nation without legislation allowing charter schools. The board is planning to study charter schools during a special meeting next month. Charter schools are typically run by outside organizations, but they're publicly funded and open to any student.
The United States Secretary of Agriculture is making a stop in central Kentucky today. Tom Vilsack is at Berea College this morning discussing strategies on lowering rural poverty. Vilsack will be joined by the Secretary for Rural Development, Lisa Mensa, and Berea Mayor Stephen Conley. Stats show more than 6 million Americans living in rural areas live in poverty. A Kentucky coaching legend is being remembered this morning.
Legend is the right word for him. Bobby Keith died yesterday at the age of 75. Keith coached the Clay County basketball team for 29 seasons, and during that span, he took the Tigers to the state tournament a record 18 times. He held a record of 18-1 in regional championships. Keith was also named the Kentucky High School Coach of the Year 5 times. And anybody who played for him will tell you he was tough.
He always had great teams, always.
They came ready to play, that's
yes.
right. Well, you know it is fall in the bluegrass when the horses start racing.
Keeneland's fall meet starts tomorrow. Now, this is a special fall for the historic track. Keeneland is celebrating its 80th anniversary of racing. Ahead of tomorrow's opening, the track unveiled its newest milestone trophy, the Keeneland Vase. We'll be reporting live from Keeneland trackside starting early tomorrow on WKYT This Morning. Should be a nice day for it, too.
Yeah, it's an exciting time.
Well, if you're looking to change vacation plans because of Hurricane Matthew, Taco Bell has an interesting proposal.
You could try this out. The Kentucky-based chain is offering up a few of its biggest fans, at least, a chance to sleep over. Taco Bell in Canada is launching an Airbnb. There are going to be bunk beds, couches, a big screen TV, and even a Taco Bell butler to serve up some food. The deal is to celebrate the launch of a new quesadilla, the steak double dia. There you go.
Oh, well, that's different.
Actually looks pretty swank, doesn't it?
Totally, and somebody will want to do that. You're right.
Sure.
We'll keep it right here on Mid-Morning. How football is preparing a young standout for a career with the circus. That's after weather.
We have Hurricane Matthew down toward the tropics. It is heading our direction, our being the U.S. Then you have that front that's going to affect us there for the weekend. So when these two converge, what's going to happen? I'll have that answer coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Another good-looking day in store. Another day that feels like summer outside as we're going to be there in the lower 80s again this afternoon, along with that moisture, too. It just doesn't feel great, but it's not all that bad. 67 degrees there in London. Moorhead coming in the mid-60s. Typically, this time of year, we're actually in the lower 70s for our highs, and we won't be there. We're going to be in the lower 80s, maybe even some mid-80s, too. It's about 10 degrees above average, but things will change for the weekend. Watch this Defender Radar Network, nothing going on. Let's zoom down toward, you got to get off toward the Bahamas and also Nassau. Nassau is this little bitty dot you see right here. Here are the Bahamas, the actual Bahamas. Nassau's right there. It's actually on the northeast side quadrant, really, of that eye wall. And you can see the spin right through there. That's the center of it. That's the part you do not want to go through, and it's getting the brunt of it right now. You're seeing some nasty videos, nasty pictures there online. So it's not looking good there for the Bahamas. What's going to happen is it travels up toward the northeast. Let me take you through the track. This is the updated track. Let me show you where it's going to be located. You go just north of Miami. That's where maybe landfall will actually happen. If not landfall, it's still going to be extremely close there to the I-95 border, I-95 corridor, that is, and also the coastline at 145 miles per hour. Put that in perspective. That's roughly the same speed as an EF3 tornado. That's a big storm to have the same wind speeds as that. Then it rolls up the 95 corridor, the coastline, kind of curves back once it gets close to the Carolinas. Still Myrtle Beach, Charleston goers, heads up. I mean, you're still talking about some flooding and some very strong winds. But the good news here is this keeps tracking southbound. So the farther it tracks south, the better likelihood of staying away from that for South Carolina. Don't get me wrong, you're going to get storm surge, you're going to get some strong winds, you will get some nasty flooding too. But the strongest part of that should stay off into the ocean. But look at this. This is crazy. I mean, really to see. I've never personally seen this working in my career. Now, this has happened in the past. I mean, you got to get back toward Ivan. It actually happened with Ivan, but this is going to loop around. It doesn't reverse. I've been hearing it reverses its course. It doesn't reverse. Storms don't do that. But it's looping back around. And it may make full circle back through the Bahamas and then maybe even touching down and Florida once again. This is a crazy storm to watch. It really is. Keeneland forecast, how is it going to affect us? Well, it doesn't. It throws a little dry air, indirectly affect us. It throws a little dry air over us, and that'll make for a really nice Keeneland forecast. So Friday looks good at 79. That's a totally different attire they're wearing on Friday than, say, Saturday or Sunday. Those 2 days are going to be pretty chilly. We're looking at 60s outside, guys. And that means during the daylight, or, well, during the day, maybe noon to about 1 p.m. if you're heading out there. That's the 50s. So it's going to be pretty chilly heading out, maybe even tailgating or whatever it may be that we all do before the races. It's going to be a little bit chilly. You might have to dress a little differently there toward the weekend.
Add a little breeze and yeah.
Does
You
get
can still
chilly
have
pretty
fun,
easily.
just be prepared.
Oh, absolutely. Be prepared. There you go.
Thank you.
Well, a young football player's amazing catch deserves the top 3 spots on ESPN's top plays of the day.
It's incredible. Look at this. This youth football player pulls off an amazing bobble catch in a Florida football game. He almost loses it several times, over and over. Look at him.
Oh, gosh.
But miraculously, he hauls it in at the last second for a touchdown. Of course, the crowd goes wild. But what about that? Let's see it one more time here.
He was not going to let go of that ball.
And the catch.
That's great.
And look at that. It just about gets away from him, but it's over and over.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people would love to have him on their team. Absolutely. Well, catch a sneak peek of 2 upcoming movies and a special tribute in New York to the late Robin Williams.
Suzanne Marquez has today's Eye on Entertainment.
We suspect your wife is a German spy.
A new trailer is out for Allied, starring Brad Pitt and Marion Cotillard. The pair meet during World War II, but their relationship afterward is in danger.
People like to believe in fairy tales.
We're also getting a look at Natalie Portman as the former First Lady in Jackie. The film chronicles the days after President Kennedy's assassination as seen through his widow's eyes.
The stars of Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life, walk the red carpet here in Hollywood.
Creativity has no place in this school.
The movie is described as Ferris Bueller meets Home Alone. A young teenager finds new ways to torment his middle school principal. Lauren Graham plays the teen's mom.
These kids were just incredible. They're really talented.
Middle School is out in theaters tomorrow. And the SAG-AFTRA Foundation named a screening room and educational center in New York for the late Robin Williams. Stars came out to remember their friend and fellow actor.
This is ultimately what Robin would have wanted in his memory, was a place that helps creative people be creative.
It has his spirit attached to it, which is a tremendous force. I think it's a great thing that SAG has done.
Guests watched a screening of a conversation with Robin Williams, recorded in Los Angeles back in 2003. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Hollywood.
All right, coming up next, this really could be exciting, certainly interesting, writing your own life story to share.
Find out about a new program for end-of-life memorials next on WKYT.
Tomorrow's Mega Millions jackpot is $41 million, and Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $91 million. Hey, welcome back. It's mid-morning on WKYT on your Thursday, and we're glad you're with us. It's something to think about. How do you want to be remembered? A new program allows you to create your own story to be shared when the time comes.
Kim Wade, Community Relations Director at Millward Funeral Home, is here to tell us more about it. Welcome. Glad to have you here today.
A very intriguing concept here. Tell us about the program you're calling Be Remembered.
Well, it's a program that's online, and you simply go there, you set up an account, and it's free, and then you tell your story online.
How can you do that? What can you record online?
You can record any stories that you have. It could be about your daughter's softball game, or about the time you took your grandson fishing and caught the biggest fish, of course. Or you can upload some of those photos that you've taken. As you know, we take lots and lots of pictures these days and lots of video on our phones. And sometimes they stay on the phones, but this is an opportunity to actually get those out the phone, put them on a system that you can share with family and friends.
But otherwise, there will be people who will go on, I guess, turn the camera on, right, and then just tell their story?
They can do that, or they can just share some of the video that somebody else has taken of them at birthday parties or anniversary parties, or simply just sitting there reading a story to a grandchild.
So after this is all recorded, when something does happen to that person, when they die, how is that information used? What are you seeing people do with this?
Nowadays, people are no longer having funerals; they're having life celebrations. A life celebration can be anything you want it to be. It's basically a party, a festivity, a memorial service. It highlights the best things in your life. And so the information that you put into Be Remembered can be unlocked at the time of your death, and then your family can use that information and create a party.
And you then kind of help set the tone of what that celebration is.
Absolutely. And nowadays, we even have, a lot of people have religious services. There's also what's called a celebrant service, and we have a celebrant on staff at Millward. And so between the celebrant or the clergy, depending on who you use, they can use that information and create the theme of the memorial service.
Do you find that that family and friends are more comforted by this when they get to sort of relive those memories?
Absolutely. Anytime that you can relive those memories, the grief process goes a little bit more smoothly. Sometimes when it's a traumatic event, it's a little bit more difficult, of course, but it's good to remember those days. It's good to put a smile on everybody's face, and that just helps because you know that they're in a better place when...
It's more uplifting,
yeah,
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Millwardfuneral.com, or I'm sure people could call Millward as well.
Yes, 252-3411.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Coming next.
Sure to keep it right here.
We're going to check in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next and see what's cooking up here on your Thursday. Looks pretty good.
We're glad you're with us today. Now here's a cake that lets you experiment with your favorite frosting recipes.
Today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, it's simple snack cake.
Now that we're about to enter the holiday season, it seems like we're looking for new and exciting ways to kick up our baked goods. And whether we're looking to jumpstart our cookies, cakes, or even our bars, nothing does it better than finishing them with a homemade frosting. So let me share 3 of my favorites. Here, I'm making a from-scratch cinnamon buttercream frosting, which is simply some butter, brown sugar, and cinnamon beaten together. Now that it's light and fluffy, we stir in a splash of vanilla and some powdered sugar. After this comes together, we beat in some half and half and more powdered sugar. Does this look good or what? And for those of you who love the combo of chocolate and coffee, our mocha frosting is a creamy, fluffy spin-off of a ganache that is truly to die for. And if by chance you love caramel, I mean really love it, then our decadent caramel frosting should not be missed. Imagine any of these slathered on cookies for Santa or on a really good snack cake. To get the recipes for our cinnamon buttercream frosting, the caramel frosting, and our mocha frosting, along with the snack cake recipe that I was talking about, just go to our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a sweeter way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Little snack cake.
I'll give him that.
Doesn't sound bad.
That'll be
That
fun.
one looks pretty good. Okay, the rest of our forecast today, we're looking at 82 degrees. Now, that's basically where we have been the past 2 days. So it's really not changing much, guys. Friday into your weekend doesn't look all that bad, but much cooler conditions are coming.
All right.
All right,
We'll
prepare
update you
for it.
on Matthew at noon right here. Thanks
See
for
you
being
then.
here.